Hi, good day. Welcome to a new vlog. This vlog today, I'm going to be talking about passing your UK theory driving test at first sitting. Passing your UK driving test, the theory test at first sitting, the tips that you need to bear in mind to help you pass in your first sitting, and what the theory test is all about. So if it is something that interests you, please sit back, listen, click on the like button, give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you've seen my video and you like the topic, so I can do more to encourage me. And then also you can share with your friends. And then if you haven't subscribed, please can you please subscribe? Thank you very much. I am Ife, and welcome to a new vlog today. So when you have finally made that decision that you want to start driving in the UK, maybe the winter weather has dealt with you. You've seen how the ghost buses, they come, they show the time that they've passed, but you've been there waiting for the bus for the past 20 minutes, and then it showed pass that the bus has been there, but you were still there, but there was no bus. The weather condition has dealt with you, and then you'll be like, no way, I need to get my own car. So today, the decision to get your own car, that's the first step. Yeah, that's the first baby step when you decide to get started. Because I must tell you, having a car in the UK is quite different from having a car back in Africa or any other. I don't know about other countries where I come but where I come from, having a car is a luxury. And then when you get it, you only have to deal with, buying fuel and maintaining the car. But over here, it's quite a lot. It's not a luxury. It's like it's not an asset. It's like a liability. Yeah, actually, because you tend to put in a lot of money, put in a lot of effort to make sure that it is maintained. You can't drive a car that is not taxed, that is not insured. You have to pay for you have to pay your tax, you have to pay your insurance, you have to keep doing the MOT when it is due. And if you notice any fault in the car, you have to go take it to the mechanic. You have to go take it to the MOT center where it can be serviced, where the faults can be detected and it will be dealt in time. Because to be fair, if you have any accident and then maybe your insurance company finds out that the fault is actually a preventable fault, that you should have noticed this, I don't know what happens to your insurance premium. So to prevent the bigger problem, you just have to tackle with a smaller one. So the decision, just like I stated earlier, has to start with you deciding, I'm ready to own a car in the UK. I'm ready to get a car in the UK. And then the next step is for you to apply for your provisional driving license. Because without your provisional driving license, you can't drive. You can't practice, and you can't actually apply for a book for your theory test. Yeah, so you have to get your provisional driving license. Now, I made a video I think it's up to 1 year ago. I made a video about how to obtain your UK provisional driving license. Now, that video, a lot of people came back, and some people actually quarreled me on that video, saying that that was not the same step. I made that video, and some people saw the video months after I've made the video, and a lot has changed. They've changed their website, the method through which they do that. I think you now have to generate a share code and all that for you to get something, but I never did that during my own time. I exactly stated what I did to get mine. So I don't know why some people were furious about it, you understand? So you have to bear with me and keep checking the UK website to see what has been updated. So like I said earlier, you have to get your provisional driving license. So when you get your provisional driving license, you can be able to apply for book for your theory test. And you can actually book for your theory test by yourself. You don't need to wait for anybody to book it for you. Using your cell phone, your mobile phone, you can actually apply to book your theory test, which I'll be showing you in the next video. It's just a few minutes video on how to do it, very quick and fast. Nothing fuzzy about it, easy, right? Okay, so when you book for the test, because some people may not get serious if they don't book for the test. So I will advocate that you book for the test, so that you know as the date is coming near, it keep ringing a bell that you need to actually study. But don't make the mistake of studying in the last minute, in the last few days. No, you will hurry it up. Give yourself time, make time for yourself, and also make time to study, actually study and understand what you're studying. It is actually £23, and the £23 is not that little. It's a lot of money in it. So you actually make time to pass the exam, and that's why I'm doing this video today, to make sure that I help you, tell you the tips you have to do, that you have to employ to be able to pass in your first sitting. Okay, all right. So when you have booked the test, then the next thing that you have to do is to gather equipment. When I say equipment, gather books that will help you to pass. You have to read a lot. So before you start reading, it is actually important that you know what you are studying for. What are you reading for? What are you preparing for? So you are preparing to be tested. There are different things they test people on. They can test you on cars, if you are driving a car. They can test you on motorcycles. They can test you on buses, on driving buses, coaches. And then CPC, I think the professional driving license, has to do with professional drivers. So these are different things they test people on. But for this one, the theory test, they're trying to test your theory on the knowledge of cars. Do you know how the car operates? Do you know how it works? Okay, if you know, do you know how to drive it on the road? Do you know what signs on the road that you need to look out for? You understand? How to be safe. That is the hallmark of everything. They want you to be safe out there when you start driving. They don't want you to go there, you know, and then there is an accident and all that. They're trying to prevent that. So they want to make sure they prepare you for what is ahead. All right, so that is what they are testing you for. If you say you are testing for a car, then you book the one for the car, and then when you are booking, they will ask you if you need any support, like you need it to be read in any language, you need additional support like the headphone and all that, and you want some, you know, you want the I think a speak on, how do they used to say it, someone reading it out from the computer, not a physical person reading it out for you, just to help you feel relaxed on that day. So these are all the things they're going to ask you when you are about to book the test. So this is what you are being tested on. They're going to test your knowledge and skill, and then your understanding of the motorway and where the road you are going to drive on, you know, the pedestrian and everything, how you give them way and all that. All these things they're going to test you on. Now, another thing is this: apart from the theory part, they're going to test you on the theory part, which contains 50 questions. The 50 questions you are going to do in 57 minutes. You're going to do the 50 questions in 57 minutes with a pass mark of 43. Once you get 43, that's the pass mark, you've passed. Then another part, the second part of the theory test is the hazard perception. You have to do also the hazard perception, and the hazard perception is they want to test your ability to be able to notice a hazard on your way as you are driving. Your ability to notice it. You know, the faster you notice it, the earlier you notice it, the more mark. Like if you see someone, a baby trying to run out, you are driving around the way, and you see a child trying to come across the, you know, run across the way to pick a ball. If you can see it from afar, and then you start slowing down on time, and when you click your button to show that you've seen it, you may score 5, and 5 is the highest mark. So they score you according to when you see it. Now, hazard perception test is all about hazard while driving, is all about those things that will make you to change course, change or react, change or reduce your speed while you are driving. That's hazard. So they want to see how you can be able to perceive, you know, I can be able to see the hazard on time. Are you able to see it? Are you aware that there are other road users and you need to be aware of them while you are driving? You understand? So that is what they are testing when it comes to hazard perception. A lot of people used to find it difficult, but I think if you have a good understanding of what they require of you and you practice and practice and practice, you can be able to see that hazard perception is actually the least difficult among all of them. Okay, in fact, it's not even a big deal. Don't make the theory test a big deal. It's actually something that you can just read it, study, and then pass. Okay, in the hazard perception, there is 14 clips of CGC, you know. It's like animated pictures, but it looks like a real life scenario that they have done it in animated way. So the CGC is 14 clips of it, with each one containing at least one scenario of hazard perception, but out of it, one of them will contain 2. So in total, 15 hazard perception, but the clips are 14, with one of them containing 2 scenarios of hazard perception. So what books did I use to prepare? I actually used, the first time when I started driving, taking my driving practices, my tutor, my driving tutor made me to bought a book. Like, he told me to go to the library and look it up and read about the motorway rules or signs or something. So I have to buy the book because I didn't have the time to go sit down in the library and do that. So I have to buy it. So it is the official DVSA guide to driving, something like that. I'll be pasting it around here for you to see what book it is. If you just need, if you want it for reading's sake, you can just buy it if you want. It's not a compulsory thing. He's just recommended it that I should read it, just to get some knowledge and skills. Yeah. So but the main book that everyone recommend, that everyone uses, is the book we all know that is called 4-in-1 app. It is the theory test 4-in-1 app, the driving theory test 4-in-1 app. I'll post it around there as well. Everybody can see it. So it is actually the one that people use. Why? Because it is official. It is written by the DVSA themselves, and it's like a revised question of what they've asked. To be fair, every tutor that I've met has used it to teach in the class, and not just that, they actually recommend it to people. So I'll also recommend it to you. It's got everything. Is quite prepared. If you see, it's very good. If you see the review, a lot of people are saying that it's best book for you to prepare. So it's got everything. It's got the theory, and it to show you your progress, to show you when you are dwindling, and show you your weak places, your weak areas that you need to put more effort to understand. Yeah, so it's got the theory part where you read, and it's got the hazard perception. It got a lot of video there for you to practice your hazard perception on, and it shows you the progress of your practice, so you can be able to judge whether you are doing good or not. So it's something that everybody should have. You can have it on your phone. You can download it on your phone. You just pay I think £4.99 just for it. So it's not that costly, I think, and everybody should be able to afford it. So you just pay for that, and then you study it as you prepare for your test, and it's going to help you a great deal. So just to be sure that I've exhausted every point that I've got here, in that your app, Theory 4-in-1 app, you've got all, you have to be tested, or you have to test yourself on different topics in the theory part. Apart from the hazard perception, they test you on alertness, about 14. Alertness, attitude, documents, hazard awareness. Is different from hazard perception, all right? Road and traffic signs, incidents, accidents, and emergencies, other types of vehicles. You may be sitting for automatic, and then you will see one or two questions that emerge from manual cars. So you should also have a little knowledge of how gears, engine, putting in first gear, lower gear, upper gear, higher gear, and all that. You just have a knowledge of that. That is why you need to actually understand how a car works. I don't blame some people that actually start driving the practical, doing some practice before they sit for their theory. Because you need to, if you haven't touched a car before, you may not be able to understand some of the things that they may be pointing at. So other types of vehicles, vehicle handling, they're going to test you on that. That's what the theory is testing you on. They're testing you on motorway rules. They're testing you on rules of the road. They're testing you on safety margins. They're testing you on your safety and your vehicle. They're testing you on vulnerable road users and then your vehicle loading. So all these are contained in that app I've told you, the 4-in-1 app. So you go there, you keep practicing, and when you notice your weak areas, go back, study that weak areas very well. Then another thing that I use, let me not forget that I made use of YouTube as well. There are a lot of tutors, licensed driving tutors on YouTube. I use Doreen. I use a lady, I've forgotten her name, but she normally puts a green background. Yeah, so I use her app. I watched her a lot of videos, a lot of her teachings on YouTube as well. I watched Doreen's teachings as well, and before you know it, I passed my exam. So now listen to some tips that you should know as you are preparing, so that you don't make any mistake and then you have your results. You pass your result on the first attempt. So here are they. I've already mentioned that it contains 50 questions to be answered in 57 minutes, and the pass mark is 43. Please, for whatever reason that you have, even if don't be in a hurry on that day. Sit down, give yourself time to look at the exam over and over, to look at your to answer the question. Give yourself time, answer the question. Don't be in a rush. Don't think because you've seen this question before, because actually the questions that are in 4-in-1 are actually sometimes they are rewarded, like asked in rephrase, or what, I don't know how else to explain it, but they may be the same question, but they're asked differently. Yeah, they're asked differently. And recently there have been few new questions added onto the theory DVSA theory test. Just make sure that you actually research to find out what those new questions are, so that it doesn't take you unawares. Okay, now you've got all the time. Most of the people that fell, they fell not because they do not know the answer, but because they fell because they were in a hurry. They think they know the answer and they take it off. And then when you now see where you fell, you come back to say, oh, but I know this, but because I didn't read well. Read it in between lines. Okay, so another tip is to start revising early. Start as early as possible. Give yourself time to prepare for the exam. Don't be in a rush. If you are in a rush, if you don't start preparing, you may not be able to cover all the areas, and luckily, unfortunately, those areas that you did not cover may be the area that your question may come out from. Now, another tip is understand how the markings work, especially for the hazard perception. Very important. For the theory part, you only have to answer multiple choice question, like 4 multiple choice question. Like they ask you a question, 4 options. You just have to tick the right one. And as you are ticking, bear in mind safety. Always go for the safest answer. Bear in mind that they want you to be safe out there, so they're gonna put a safe answer in there. Always go pick the second answer. The safest answer, please. The safest answer. Now, if sometimes their answers are very easy to predict. Once you see safe, it is safe. It is done in a safe, careful way. That is the answer. I know. So understand how the marking works, especially for the hazard perception. Some people struggle with the hazard perception because they do not actually understand what they are doing. What am I going to, where do I click? When do I do this one? You click when you see a hazard about to occur. In fact, when you see a hazard, if you click when the hazard has already occurred, like you are driving and someone immediately rush across the road, and you didn't click when you saw the person rushing, that is when they start scoring you. Had it been you click when you saw the person coming out, not when the person is already at the middle of the road, no, you may score 1. So you start clicking from when you saw the hazard developing. You click to the developing hazard. Don't click when they have already developed. You may score 1. So you have to score 44, right, for you to be able to pass your hazard perception. I actually scored a very high score on that. I think I got 66 out of 75 or something. That's actually a good one because I enjoy doing the hazard perception. Now, practice. Another tip is to practice your weakest area. Yes, I've said it before. The theory app 4-in-1 helps you to notice your weakest area. So keep practicing and practicing. Then don't rush. I've said it before. Get a good theory app. I've said it before. App 4-in-1. Use your YouTube. Ask question if you don't know. Use your YouTube, use your phone to be able to research and see the works and teachings that people have done in the time past. And then I guarantee you, if you prepare on time, get ready for your test, on the day of your test, be there 15 minutes before your test time. In fact, be there 30 minutes if possible, but you can't enter the test center until it is 15 minutes to your test time. So just be prepared to calm your nerves. You understand? Have your confidence. Be able to develop your confidence. Actually, when you prepare well and you know that you've prepared well, you can be able to calm your nerves and have the confidence. So, if you don't prepare well, there's no confidence because you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to answer. So, be able to also go back and go through your flag questions. It allows you to flag your questions and go back to it again. But if you know that you've answered very well, there's no need to flagging it because you can actually flag a question that you've answered correctly only to go back and answer it wrongly. Yeah. So if you're using a manual car, sorry, if you're driving, if you're practicing with an automatic, make sure that you have a little knowledge of how gears and engines and all these things occur in the manual car. Just make sure you have a little idea of how manual car works. I actually started with a manual car, but along the way I struggled, so I have to switch to automatic car. So just have a little knowledge of how manual car operates. Sorry. Yeah, so this is quite I don't think I'm forgetting any other thing, but if there's any other thing I'm forgetting, then I'll add it as a voiceover when this video is ready. All right, thank you very much. Remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends. Thank you very much. Bye.